And this HOA Karen story takes a turn no one in the neighborhood saw coming. What started as a demand for free gas ended with flashing lights, instant embarrassment, and a reality check she will never forget. Before we get into it, like the video, subscribe for more HOA and Karen stories, and hit the hype button so this one reaches everyone who enjoys real neighborhood drama. Our neighborhood was the kind of place that looked perfect on paper. Clean streets, identical fences, trimmed hedges, and a strict HOA that claimed to value order above all else. Most residents followed the rules quietly. Some believed in them, others tolerated them. And then there was Karen. Karen had appointed herself the enforcer of everything. Even when she wasn't officially assigned to something, she behaved as if she owned the streets, the sidewalks, and everyone's time. She walked the neighborhood daily, inspecting yards, cars, and driveways with the intensity of someone searching for violations that didn't exist. I lived a quiet life there. I worked long hours and valued privacy. My garage stayed organized, my lawn stayed within regulation height, and I never caused trouble. What most neighbors didn't know was that my job required discretion. I didn't advertise what I did for a living. I didn't wear uniforms outside of work. I didn't talk about authority or titles. I preferred being just another homeowner. One weekend, I was working on a personal project in my driveway. A portable generator sat nearby, connected to tools I needed for a repair. Everything was legal, everything was permitted. The generator was within noise limits and placed well within my property line. That's when Karen appeared. She noticed the generator immediately. To her, it wasn't equipment, it was an opportunity. She approached with purpose, eyes locked on the fuel container beside it. She believed she had found something she could claim. She demanded access to the gas. Her logic was simple in her mind. She believed HOA resources extended to anything visible. She claimed the gas was being used improperly and insisted it should be shared for community benefit. In reality, she simply wanted free fuel for her own generator at home. I refused. That refusal triggered something in her. She wasn't used to being told no, especially not calmly, especially not without fear. She escalated instantly, insisting rules were being violated, threatening consequences, and gesturing wildly as neighbors began to notice. I remained calm. I didn't raise my voice, I didn't argue, I simply continued working. Karen didn't get the reaction she wanted, so she went nuclear. She called the police. She believed the arrival of officers would force compliance. She imagined me being warned, fined, or embarrassed into giving her what she wanted. She stood confidently at the curb, arms crossed, waiting for authority to arrive and validate her entitlement. What she didn't know was that authority was already present. The patrol cars arrived quickly. Lights flashed across the neat houses. Neighbors stepped outside, drawn by curiosity. Karen looked satisfied, convinced this was her moment. The officers stepped out, professional and alert. They surveyed the scene, the generator, the fuel container, and Karen's dramatic posture. She launched into a story full of exaggerated claims and imagined violations. She pointed repeatedly at my driveway as if it were evidence of wrongdoing. I waited. When the officers approached me, I calmly provided identification. Everything changed in an instant. The energy shifted. The officer's posture adjusted. Recognition hit. Respect followed. Procedures became precise. Karen noticed immediately that something wasn't going the way she expected. I was not a homeowner being questioned. I was the police chief. Karen's confidence collapsed in real time. Her body language shifted from aggressive to uncertain. The power she thought she had evaporated as reality settled. The officers reviewed the situation thoroughly. The generator was legal, the fuel was personal property. There was no violation. The call itself was the only questionable action. Using emergency services to try to intimidate a neighbor over free gas crossed a serious line. The officers documented everything. Karen's statements were inconsistent. Her claims didn't match any HOA regulation or city code. Her call had wasted resources. Neighbors watched silently as her imagined authority unraveled. The HOA board was notified of the incident. They were not pleased. The board had already received multiple complaints about her overreach, harassment, and false claims. This incident became the final straw. Karen was removed from any HOA-related responsibilities. Her access to internal communications was revoked. She was instructed to cease all enforcement behavior immediately. The neighborhood changed almost overnight. People felt safer saying no. Guests parked without fear. Home projects continued without harassment. The invisible pressure lifted. Residents realized how much one person's entitlement had controlled their daily lives. Karen retreated. She stopped walking the streets. She avoided eye contact. The woman who once thrived on control now stayed indoors. Her reputation was damaged beyond repair. The irony wasn't lost on anyone. She tried to weaponize authority against someone she assumed was powerless. Instead, she exposed her own misuse of power in front of the very system she thought she controlled. My project finished without further interruption. The generator went back into storage. Life returned to normal. I didn't retaliate. I didn't escalate. I let the law handle it. This story spread quietly through the neighborhood and then beyond it. It became a reminder that entitlement collapses when it meets reality. Authority doesn't need to shout. It simply exists. For anyone watching this, remember that HOA rules have limits. Personal property is protected, and emergency services are not tools for personal gain. If you enjoyed this story, like the video, subscribe for more HOA and Karen stories, and hit the hype button so these real neighborhood dramas keep coming. And don't forget to comment which country you're watching from.